Hey guys, welcome to today's video. This is going to be a quick version, and this is Paint with Lovejoy. Thanks so much for joining. Please subscribe to the channel and share this channel with your community. Like I said earlier, this is going to be a quick version, so if you prefer the full-length, non-time-lapsed version, check out my Patreon page and my Paint with Lovejoy website. If you want to further support Paint with Lovejoy, please do. It all helps. And for more in-depth courses, check out paintwithlovejoy.com. And as always, share this with your community. Alright guys, this is another fun painting for the Carlsbad Flower Fields. So grab your supplies, head on over to where you have your setup, take your progress photos, and this one is going to be a sped up time-lapsed version. If you would like the real-time version, check out my Patreon page or my website. So here we're going to basically split the sky and the ground. So we're making a light blue, going about a couple inches below the top of the canvas, making a line, and then we're going to be filling from that line to the top of the canvas with a light blue and maybe even a little bit of medium blue. If you happen to be on a stretched canvas, I do recommend that you carry this color around the edge. And again, if you have to mix your shades of light blue once or twice, don't stress about the exact same shade. Here you can see where I'm just throwing some of that direct blue and white on there and then mixing it in with the background. So do take your progress photos and do not paint as fast as the video. This is a time-lapsed version. And we're going to be filling from that line down with a light green and filling in that whole space, going around the edges of the canvas if you happen to be on a stretched canvas. And if you are using student grade paint, I do recommend that you apply your paint a little bit thicker. That will make your blending a little bit easier and make it easier to kind of cover the texture of the canvas. And I am using student grade paint in pretty much all my videos. I like to use what you guys are using since I teach first time and beginner painters. So here, just filling in the rest of that space. Now we're going to grab some of that direct green and we're going to make these angles. They're almost 45-degree angles and we're mixing that into the base. And these are going to be the rows for each of our flowers. So just kind of setting in the direction that we'll be focusing on with these lines right now. And just notice again that as I add that green in there and then move my brush on top of it, the more I move my brush, the more the two shades blend together. And this is something that you will continue to build your skills with the more that you paint. So here we're putting some foliage on that horizon line, and I did a mixture of blue and green because I wanted it to be a little bit darker. And just using this dotting method, we're going to kind of get an intro to pointillism today. And pointillism is basically just using dots and overlapping dots to create an image, to create depths, to create a larger scene. So it's actually a lot of fun. And a lot of times just consider these like blobs. Each little dot is a flower and they overlap each other. And we're starting off with our light pink, and that was white with a little bit of red to make our light pink. And I was trying to be proactive with some social media stuff, so you will see my camera in there trying to film while I am painting. I can't remember if I actually used that footage or not, but I at least certainly tried while I was painting. And that just kind of keeps with our current day and time. So filling in that space, you can see where I grabbed a little bit of even that direct red, and as I was adding it, it mixes with the light pink. Do trust your instincts with this. These are just little dots, they're blobs, it's pointillism, there's a lot of kind of impressionistic feel to this style. So really kind of anything goes, and you're still going to look at it from a distance and go, yep, those are flower fields, those are rows of color, they look good. So now using that yellow, and you can either use your direct yellow or a mixture of yellow and white as we fill in that space. We will do a second layer on here to where we go a little bit darker towards the bottom of the row and then a little bit lighter at the top of that row. And for this next step, we're actually mixing that pink that we were using with the yellow we were using, and it kind of creates this kind of orangish, pinkish orangish color. If you have direct orange and you want to use that and mix that with some white, feel free to do that, or mix the two colors you were just using. So adding it to the top and then where the horizon line is, and then moving directly into the red, doing the same thing, filling in that bottom corner. And as you're making these dots, I want you to just even notice that as the color starts getting lighter, grab more paint. You're going to get into a really good groove of making these dots and almost kind of stabbing the canvas, which is very satisfying some days. But you want to keep grabbing paint so you're continually adding paint to the canvas. That's probably one of the biggest things that I notice for my beginner painters that are getting into pointillism. You get into this great groove, but you do got to keep grabbing your paint and applying it. So again, just filling up those spaces, overlap those dots and brush strokes, and do every now and then look at your painting from a distance of 5 to 10 feet away. This is the normal viewing distance for artwork, and it's kind of nice to just see what it looks like from that distance. So now we're moving into the green, filling up some of the spots in between the rows because our plants grow. There's grass, there's leaves, there's stems. So we do have to throw some of that green in there for that illusion. And really just kind of filling up any space in between the rows of the flowers that you may be able to see a little bit of the background on. All right, and making a light purple. If you have your own purple, feel free to use white and purple. If not, you can do what I did. I started with white, a little bit of blue, a little bit of red, and made my own shade of purple. All right, and pause the video as you need to and take your progress photos. Progress photos are important to look back on. And here you can see where we're going in with our darker shade. We're using that red with a tiny, tiny amount of black. You'll notice that a little bit of black goes a long way, especially when we start making our darker shades for the other rows. Still the exact same application with these dots and overlapping those brush strokes and just kind of filling in that space. This is giving us our dark value, our shadow value. And as we move into the light or the darker yellow, again, tiny, tiny, tiny amount of black. And if you kind of make it too dark, just start a new pile and remix your color. You don't want a huge jump from your medium shade to the dark shade on the yellow because it can get kind of dirty and muddled up very quickly. And you'll notice that as you kind of tap it into that base color, some of it mixes a little bit with the original color and diffuses. That is part of the process. So going back to kind of a medium pink, kind of getting that second layer on there. It is a little bit darker going towards the bottom of that row. And you can add a touch of black if you need to go a little bit darker. But again, a little bit goes a long way. And again, we're just filling in the space. You guys are doing an excellent, excellent job. Please don't paint as fast as this video. Pause it as you need to and go at your own pace. Or check out the full-length video. Here we're going in with a lighter pink, and that is just more white to your mixture. And you can even use the direct white if you want a more bold kind of highlight color. And this is, again, just helping us give that illusion of this 3D object of this landscape and kind of breaking up each of the sections. Doing the same thing with the yellow. You can add some yellow on there and then mix some white and yellow, or even just the direct white. All right, you guys are doing a great job. Thanks for painting. Check out the other videos, and please do not wait too long to do your next painting. Until then, cheers.